Okay, chaps, got some good and some bad news.
Go on, start with the bad.
George has sold Celibate Records. I've had a go speaking to him, got nothing back, just received a text. He's still sick, apparently, long COVID. He's got no other work to prop up the record label, so it's either sell or go bankrupt.
And did he let on who he sold it to?
One of the big three, maybe a consortium. Don't know all the details at the moment, but a legal firm representing the new owners have been in touch regarding you and your deal.
And?
They can't find one. All they've got is a drafted contract from Q1 05 and a list of expenses that they're seeing as loans.
But we signed a fucking deal. We've got a copy. Just show it to them.
Turns out a contract signed in potato starch and the ash from your last suit isn't legally binding, David.
But what about the releases, the best of, emails confirming our deal? Did they count for something? We've operated with that contract for years.
Yeah, we're going to get legal advice. But regardless of the contract, you drop from the label and they're going to look to recoup all their losses from the last 5 years.
What about our songs and albums?
Well, the way I read it, once you've paid what they say you owe, it's all yours. They just want the money back and a clean break.
And how much do they say we owe?
Circa 200k, maybe more, give or take £1,000.
Fuck's sake.
Well, what if we want to tell them to do one?
Well, they'll probably sue and they'll win because they've got provable expenses and transfers from them to you. Worst case scenario, they'd own all your songs, possibly bankrupt or even own the Space Potatoes company.
What have we got in the bank?
Somewhere between fuck all and nothing. I mean, since you lot emptied all the accounts, how is the bar going, Chris? It's happy hour banging, is it?
Can we get a loan?
If you want to secure it, sure. But how are you going to pay it back? Have you and Dave even spoken yet?
No.
I've not heard a peep out of him since that last Zoom call. What about you, Ricky?
Oh, word, mate. You wouldn't dare call me after all of that bollocks.
Well, you two are going to have to speak to him at some point. Well, you're going to have to speak to them at some point.
Let me think. There's a lot to take in. But one thing I'm fucking certain of, we'll find a way through. Nobody's taking my fucking songs from me.
It's all a bit je ne sais quoi, isn't it?
Do you know what that means?
Well, I don't fucking know. Anyway, I thought you said there was some good news.
Yes. There is actually good news for you, Ricky.
Oh, yeah, let's have it.
So I checked earlier and the change of ownership is now showing on Company's House. So you're now a third and equal owner of the Space Potatoes.
Fucking hell. Never thought I'd see the day. So I'm not just on a wage anymore?
Nope, no wage, but you have a third of everything, same as Dave and Chris.
That's fucking great.
But that does mean you're now just over 66 grand in debt.
Cunt.
Why didn't you tell us, Trev? Give us the heads up.
Well, I didn't know myself till I was told.
Well, that explains that one then.
I've been sat working away into thin air. I rang George. He didn't even answer me, didn't pick up. Sent me a text just saying, sorry, man. So, again, I'm bewildered with this.
Sounds like we've all been fucked.
But that does mean you're a free agent, doesn't it, Trev?
Well, looks like it.
Great.
Is it?
Well, you can come run my new record label then, can't you?
Our record label.
Yeah. our record label.
Oh, you got a record label?
Fuck me, you're on fire today. Well, we've just been dropped, so I thought I'd release my stuff on my own label from now on.
Yeah, we're going to release our stuff on our own label.
So what'd you say, Trev? You up for this adventure? Me and you and Ricky?
Yeah,
Against
thanks.
The world?
Well, I'd like to give it a go, but, you know, I haven't really got a clue what I'm doing. But neither has anyone else in the record business.
Yeah, don't worry, Trev. You'll be all right, mate. Dave will direct everything and take the credit no matter what.
That's a relief.
Hey, 2-2. Testing 1-2. Sean, are you getting me? 1-2.
Just
I have a
keep
little
talking,
present
Dave.
for you. 1-2. That present is a memory card. 1-2.
I'm just checking your mic's working. Hang
I
on.
did some blogs
keep going.
on the 2020 tour. Chris did some as well.
A little bit more.
Thought I'd lost the card. Turns out it was in one of my guitar cases. 2-2.
Okay, I've got that. That's cool.
There's Chris's room. Hang on. Oh, fuck it, I have to use my elbow. Can't get in. Yeah, that's all right. I'll use my elbow.
All right, mate.
Hello. It's my new blog camera.
Okay. Right.
Keeping a blog on this tour, seeing as it's our big tour
Yeah, that's good.
every day.
You're never going to keep that all, mate.
I will, I promise you. Every single day I'm going to do a blog about something.
Yeah, who's going to watch that?
We do have fans, you know. Well, it's not just that. We've got Sean turning up in a couple of days, this documentary guy. And I'm thinking, you know, if I film a load of shit, you know, I'll give him the memory card, he might put it in the documentary.
Yeah, because he's going to want to use that, isn't it? Or your shaky hand footage of what?
This has got auto stabilisation. I'll put it here.
Yeah.
There we go. And then a bottle of water under it. We're both in frame now. Look. Sort of.
Both in the frame. We've not committed a crime.
Are we definitely opening with 2020 Rendezvous?
Makes sense, 2021 maybe. Well, because we go straight into theme from Metro. I'm quite on the edge of the, you know, I've got to run out, haven't I?
So again, it's me, you, me.
Yeah.
It's like a U sandwich with me around the outside.
That's an image that nobody wants.
Well, I had a little private chat with Kieran after the initial call. And he did tentatively say he was interested in buying some of Space Potatoes to the value of the debt, which, you know, would effectively pay off the debt, but it means that he gets a third.
Well, if you want my advice, I'd be a bit cautious, think twice.
Well, why'd you say that?
I don't know, gut feeling. It's coming in a bit quick.
Yeah, my guts are playing up and all. So if Kieran takes a third, like, what happens to my third?
But it shrinks. You get less.
All our thirds get smaller, Ricky.
Yeah, but how much by?
Well, by a third.
Well, how'd you work that out?
Well, if you had a third of the whole, but our whole would be reduced to 2/3, so you'd have a third of 2/3.
What fucking planet are you from? Like, what does that even mean?
Listen, right, it's simple. You have to reduce a third by a third, so you multiply the top and the bottom by 3 and you get 3/9. And then you take a ninth off, which is a third of 3/9, and then you've got 2/9. So 2/3 of a third is 2/9. Keep up, Ricky.
I don't know what fucking language they speak on planet math, but fucking hell. Sounds like I've got 3/5 of fuck all.
Hang on. I'm struggling with these thirds. I can do halves, I can do quarters, not thirds.
Jesus Christ, you two. You're meant to be running my fucking record label and you're meant to be counting time and neither of you can add 2 and fucking 2.
Dave, how many times? Our fucking label.
There's a bird down there. Bit of assault. I think. Yeah, her farts definitely smell of strawberries.
So have you seen Dave since the documentary came out?
I think it's the first time I've seen him since March 2020, I think.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I guess.
So, will it be weird?
Well, a lot's gone on. Might be weird. It's always been weird. But, yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine.
Do you know what you're doing? Do you know what the plans are? Are there any plans?
Not a clue. But I'm looking forward to exercising some power now that I'm involved a bit more. Track has a sort of a sell-by date. It can only be used for a certain amount of years before it has to be replaced.
I'll work this. Right. I'm supposed to be doing these blogs as well. Might as well speak to the man. Dave. Dave. Dave? Oh, it's not. Jesus Christ. The state of this. I mean, this is a true reflection of touring with a tortured genius. I mean, look at the state of this. The man's a walking health hazard. Absolute disgusting human he is.
All right.
So that's 2 songs about me then.
Only one.
That one about Miss Canada?
You mean Miss Canadia?
Canadia, Canada, whatever. But it's about me though.
It's actually not.
Who else do you write songs about from Canada, eh?
I don't even remember writing it. It's just nonsense. It's not about anyone. It's certainly not about you. Not everything's about you, you know.
It is about me! But your other song talks about me though. The really long one, 1,000 Years.
You mean our epic set closing track? The one that should have been number 1? 1,000 Things. Yeah, I wrote that about you.
No, David. It's about you. About how you feel about me. Because it's always about you.
I don't have time to play these mind games right now.
It's just like old times, okay? Let's start this conversation again. What's up? Tell me.
Well, we're possibly in debt to the tune of 200 grand. That's about $360,000 or whatever in your Canadian money. And I'm worried we're going to lose the business. I've not spoken to Chris since the documentary. And I'm just scared I'm going to fail in so many spectacular ways. But apart from that, life's fucking great.
What's up with you and Chris?
Will you please just watch the documentary? I know you're not a fan of the band, but please just watch it, because I don't want to keep telling these stories over and over.
I'll watch it when I'm off next week.
No, you won't.
I will. I promise. But quickly, what happened with Chris?
You're seeing the documentary. I mean, he was caught being two-faced. I mean, he's playing people off against each other. He came off looking like a right dick. And he's sulking, and he's probably quit the band as well.
And all that's in the documentary?
Well, yeah.
I can see why he's pissed. How the fuck did that happen? Why didn't you stop it? Couldn't you force them to remove those bits?
It was me that fucking gave him the footage. It was all our private Zoom calls.
Jesus, David. Why would you do that? I don't like Chris, but that's a cunt thing to do.
So, have you spoken to the other guys? Have you spoken to Dave or Ricky?
Well, it's tricky, really. I mean, I've not had any physical contact with them or any, texts or anything. I've tried to liaise with them through Trev, but you know how it is. Things have gone a bit messy. Yeah, that's good. We've had a, couple of setbacks. I mean, obviously, when the documentary came out, some people who obviously favour Ricky and Dave decided to spray paint Backstabbing Bastard over the front of the place, which was nice. I spent quite a lot of time having to scrub that off. But yeah, no, considering we battled through lockdowns, we're doing all right. We're holding our own. An advertising agency got in touch with me saying your tunes would be perfect for adverts. And I spoke with Trev, who located a tribute band, and I can use their backing tracks because somebody won't let me have access to the master tapes.
I am Jase, drummer and founder member of the Jase Potatoes Space Potatoes Show, the world's #1 tribute to the Space Potatoes.
Oh, how many Space Potatoes tribute shows are there?
Well, we're the only one. We are the best. You know, we're definitely worth seeing live.
Other than the actual Space Potatoes, obviously.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Oh, and you must be Ben. I'm assuming you played Chris in the band?
Yeah, I'm Ben, but no, I play Dave, aka Curly Fries.
Show me costume, Ben.
Who plays Chris then?
That's my mate Dan, old friend from school. He couldn't make it today. He's got a double shift at Mothercare.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, he's assistant manager.
So I've been a big fan of Space Potatoes since 2012, something like that. And I was lucky enough to see Dave on his solo tour in 2017. And I got one of what I'm told is only about 200 copies that were ever sold of a Dave solo album there, which is quite special to me. So I went out to the tour that Dave did, his solo tour in 2017. And I was hanging around out the back hoping to see Dave, but he didn't come out, unfortunately. But I managed to collar one of the roadies, and he gave me a copy of the album. But I asked if he had anything that was a bit more sort of unusual, as a big fan of Dave's, and I got some of these used guitar strings that he actually used on that tour. I don't get them out very often because they're quite special to me, and I like to keep them sort of in the case that they were given to me originally, because I mean, how special is that? Who can say they've got a set of Dave's guitar strings from 2017 when he was on tour on his solo tour? So yeah, I'm well enough just thinking about it. It was such a special moment. It's incredible.
So have you ever met any of the lads?
I went to a model train exhibition at the NEC once, and I saw Ricky roaming around there, so I managed to speak to him for a little while. He seemed like quite a nice guy. He was quite happy to talk to me and stuff like that, which was quite nice. I've never met Chris before, but I'm hopefully looking forward to meeting him soon. I did manage to meet Dave once. He probably won't remember, but it was in 2015, and I caught him just coming off the tour bus, and he flicked a joint butt on the floor, which I keep along with my very special guitar strings, which is not something that anybody can say they've got really, which is it's another one of those things that's quite special. Goes in my little Space Potatoes keepsake box. I've got a guitar actually that I had made, so it's an original replica of Dave's original Flower Telecaster. I had it made by a luthier up in Manchester, and I sent extensive pictures from a collection of stuff that I've got of Dave, and I made sure that he got all the corrosion on the pots here and everything, but with all the dents, to make it as close to the real thing as it is. It cost me £5,000, but I think you'll agree it's worth every penny. It's such an amazing thing to have. Some say it's probably better than the actual guitar that Dave's got, but I couldn't possibly comment on that. But it's money well spent, I think. I've also got this. It's one of the original pressings of Baked, and you might think there's nothing very special about this, but what this hasn't got that everything else has got is that it's actually an unsigned copy, which is incredibly rare.
I've stepped in dog shit.
I hear you've been dating.
Yeah, I've been talking to a few birds. Went on Tinder for a while. Was talking to a few birds on now. Met up with them during lockdown, which was legal. Cut that bit. Then I met Lisa. Great tits, great arse. We just really get on. So I feel like I'm happy. I feel settled. Actually, I can smell it. I think I have. I've been following the teachings of this music guru online, TikTok. His name's Ronan Cavery.
3 million streams on YouTube. Another artist signed to Sony. Can't tell you who it is yet. I'm Ronan Cavery.
He's really opened my mind exponentially.
What's TikTok?
What?
What's TikTok?
TikTok is just an app with music, videos and shit and all kinds of random nonsense. He's on Instagram too. Yeah, he's really he's really helped me out. He's said a couple of really profound things. One of them being, if you know, if you want to be a songwriter, you need to write some songs.
If you want to be a songwriter, you've got to write some songs.
And I just thought, well, fuck me. And picked the guitar up and I wrote a song. It was just like that. It was fucking amazing. You know, it's, you know, power of the mind. It really is power of the mind.
Power of the mind. It really is power of the mind.
You know, our brains, neurons and shit. Did you know we only use 10% of our brains?
I know someone who does. Ricky's mentioned this music guru he's been following on social media.
You mean Ronan Cavery?
Yeah, that's him. Have you seen anything of his work?
He's a chancer selling dreams to the gullible. I mean, when was his last hit and who appointed him a guru?
Well, Ricky seems to get something from it all.
We went through all this a few years back when he got into Jordan Peterson.
Jordan who?
He's a Canadian professor. He wrote a book called 12 Rules for Life. The main rules being sort your life out and tidy your room.
No, I've not heard what Ricky's up to, and I've certainly not seen what he's been posting online. So I've got no idea who this guy is. What does he do?
Anyway, Ricky was a changed man. He was going to be motivated, get fit and become all the things he wanted to be. But like all these fanciful whims, it's just all talk and no action. Thing is, Ricky's always had the tidiest room in the world, whereas I'm literally the messiest man alive. Ricky doesn't take drugs. He's got a lot of pride in his appearance, well, in his clothes. And I'm a stone slob that comes alive when I can barely focus my eyes. Yet who's written all the songs and filled the arenas?
Chris?
Well, it just sounds like a load of bullshit.
I mean, everything has its place. There are no 12 rules for life. And these so-called gurus, well, they're selling snake oil to gullible dreamers. I mean, what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another, and it can't be generalised and packaged and sold for $5.99 at an airport. I mean, to quote Ricky's guru, to be successful in music, you've got to connect with an audience that likes your work. Well, fucking hell. Wise words, Einstein.
Everything that has ever been achieved in the universe has been achieved by someone like you, a human being here on planet Earth. From Beethoven to Bach, from Eddie Van Halen to Iron Maiden, from Skrillex to Diplo, from Agadoo to ZZ Top. They were all human, and you are human too.
Let these cunts go past. Come on, fuck off, die, all of yous. Yeah, just catching a little bit of a breather. Would have been nice if Dave could pick me up, but he's probably too fucking stoned to pick me up in his shit Ferrari. It's not shit, it's really nice actually. You know, I feel like I'm worth a bit more now to the band. You know, I've never really been encouraged to be a songwriter. I had the single in Germany, which was great, but I just never really followed it up really, and just sat around being a lazy cunt instead. There's nothing wrong with that. I actually enjoy being a lazy cunt. Hurry up, you cunt.
Tried to check who it was on the CCTV.
All right, mate.
FCFC, give us a hug.
You all right, mate? Yeah.
Long time no see, come in. You know what FC stands for, don't you?
Fractions and calculus, knowing you.
No.
Chris, come on in. How you doing?
Right, lads.
How are you?
Chris.
I'm Jase Potatoes. How you doing?
Really?
Yeah. I changed my name by Depot.
Cool. And you are?
I'm just Ben.
Just Ben. Right, is that by Depot?
Right. What's the drill then? What are we doing? How do you want to do this?
I'm a bit nervous.
Mate,
sorry,
I'm just a normal bloke, you know. I piss and shit like the rest of you. This is, let's get rid of that condom. Has it been explained what we're doing?
No.
No? Right. You didn't get the email?
No, I haven't seen an email, no.
Right, okay. Basically, we're just going to run through some of our tunes with your backing tracks, and then I'll add these new adjusted lyrics for this project that I've been, it's been put forward to me, and it seems like a bit of an earner, so I'm going to go for it.
Yeah,
but you guys obviously got to be the backing.
Yeah, brilliant. And,
and you'll be credited and everything.
Great, yeah. And if we could get that jamming afterwards, that'd
jam,
be so cool.
yeah.
That'd be great,
No worries. All sounds good.
Yeah, this is great. I'm so excited, Ben.
Don't
Thanks for thinking about us.
Well, it became apparent that you existed, and here we are. Right, have you got your version of Mr. Jenkinson then?
Yeah, sure. Let me just bring it up. Okay.
Right, okay, no problem.
Right, ready?
Yeah. Mr. Jenkinson, your tiles are very cheap. The cheapest in the town, your prices are down. I want to buy from you. How's that?
Yeah, it sounded good, Chris, yeah. How many more of these we doing?
Well, there's about 55 in the book with businesses with Jenkinson in the title. So once we've blanketed all them, we can move on to second sight, which is your opticians, laser eye treatment, cataract removals, contact lenses. The possibilities are endless. Mr. Jenkinson, he can pick your lock. Mr. Jenkinson, your cars are very cheap. Mr. Jenkinson, you have the nicest fish. Mr. Jenkinson, your sandals are the best. What? Butt plugs? Who do they think I am? Ricky? I'm not doing that. Mr. Jenkinson, your funerals are dead good. Mr. Jenkinson, you've cured my aching back. Mrs. Jenkinson, your garden is so neat. Mrs. Jenkinson, your cream pie tastes divine. Mrs. Jenkinson, your baps are very firm. Right, so now we've got that done, I mean, you just bounce them over to me on Dropbox or something.
It's not quite as simple as that. I mean, there's 65 jingles here. I mean, even if it takes 5 or 6 minutes per jingle, it's going to be a while,
Right, I kind of need them sharpish. I mean, you not got any plans tonight, have you?
Well, I've got dinner with, I've got kids and I've got family.
Oh, mate, I've got 4 kids. You don't need to tell me about families.
Yeah, no, but I can't spend all night working on this, my youngest got swimming later.
Right, okay. I need to speak to the advertising people then and just let them know. It's going to be a bit later than they wanted.
Well, I was thinking, we could go out as a 2-piece, just you and me, have a computer on stage doing the rest of the backing tracks and stuff. But, you play lots of different instruments, I play lots of different instruments. We could sing together and do that kind of stuff, have stuff on backing track. I mean, it'd be great. Rebirth.
Sounds like you're turning us into fucking craft work.
Well, not really, it will still sound organic like an indie band and all that kind of stuff.
It's not very Space Potatoes though, is it?
What is Space Potatoes? I mean, Space Potatoes is whatever we want it to be. I mean, it's just us now. I mean, you haven't spoken to Chris, have you?
Why the fuck would I?
Exactly. So if he's not coming back, we got to do something. We go out with a computer on stage, and just do it as a 2-piece. There's loads of good 2-pieces out there. Simon and Garfunkel, Royal Blood, White Stripes, they all did well as 2-pieces.
Alright, fair enough. You think it can work? And it looked stupid with laptops on stage.
People pay good money to come and see a laptop these days.
Who?
Idiots. They fucking pay 40, 50, 60 quid a ticket. Someone standing there behind a laptop pushing some buttons. It's 2021, Ricky. It's not 2005 anymore.
It's all about this jam, Chris.
The jam? Yeah. When do you want to do that?
Now would be good. I mean, you're here.
Yeah, we could squeeze something in, no problem. So, what do you want to do then, mate?
Should we do Monday?
I'm not going to do that.
What about 1,000 Things?
Yeah, it's not going to happen, mate. Well, why don't we do something nice and short and punky, like Late for the Bus?
We haven't done that one, have we?
No.
Right, okay. I just need to make a quick call. I'll be back in a sec, alright?
Okay. This is so cool, man. Is he coming back?
Chris has just left then. Is he coming back?
Doesn't look like it.
Doesn't look like it. I mean, it's been gone like 50. He was only making a phone call, and he's not outside.
So you didn't get to have your jam?
No. What a cunt.
And I got dressed and everything.
People told me never meet your heroes. It's definitely true in this case.
I always preferred Dave anyway.
Oh, all looks good, man. Yeah, all looks good.
What's it clock in at? About 80, 90 minutes?
Well, I've written this new app where we can put in all the songs with the times and everything, and we can move them all around, and it will give us all the set lists and everything like that. I had to do something on the plane out here. I was bored. So we've now got an app to design our set lists for us.
Okay.
And it'll also mean that Gaddy will have to print them from that, and he can't put spelling mistakes in them to annoy me.
Yeah.
I'm there on stage looking down at the set list, having some sort of grammar Nazi panic attack.
Yeah, but Rendezvous gives him trouble.
He does.
We used to just get 2020 written on it, didn't we?
But he used to put an apostrophe between the U and S in Rendezvous. It would say 2020 Rondes VOU apostrophe S. And it's like,
Rendezvous.
It's not a fucking plural word, and even if it was, it wouldn't be needing an apostrophe to denote ownership or...
He just hates the French though, doesn't he?
I don't think it's anything to do with the French. I think he's an illiterate fuck. I think he left school as a teenager and went and fucking...
I left school as a teenager.
Yeah, well, so did I, but we weren't illiterate.
Doing this again, Alan.
The thing is that I'd like most of our crew to pass their fucking 11 plus before they come.
11 plus? What's this, the 1970s? I sat my 11 plus and I got into grammar school studying gas meters and pornography.
Maybe we should set an entrance exam paper for our crew. That they have to have a certain knowledge of...
Maybe you should just get a grip.
It would be good though, wouldn't it? You can imagine it. Bit of trigonometry.
You imagine Phil Booney sitting in an exam?
That's why we don't have him anymore.
That's true. Oh, Sean, stop filming stuff. I need to get hold of the lads.
Where have you been? Where are you going? What's going on?
Stop filming me.
Where are you going? What's
Fuck's
going
sake, man. Can you set a call up with them, Sean? Because they won't talk to me.
It's funny because with the open tuning, it starts out like the Stones, and then when that riff comes in with the Hammond and the guitar, it sounds like Deep Purple. And then when it goes to this bit, it's back to Space Potatoes because I start singing. And when you've got the voice of Space Potatoes on it, it suddenly becomes Space Potatoes.
I like that fluty sound. Is that a flute on that?
There's a flute. I programmed it at the moment, but I'll get someone in to actually play a flute on it.
It's got like a Shakespeare feel to it.
Shakespeare.
Well, they played flute, didn't they, back then?
They did, yeah.
Pied Piper and all of that.
I was hearing a bit of cor anglais on it.
What?
Cor anglais.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, one of those things you play.
A cor on what?
Cor anglais.
A cor is what? Is it French?
Looks like it's got a bit like clarinet or an oboe or one of those things.
So So someone pissed has tried to pronounce clarinet, but they've gone, no, I'll play the claringlay.
No, it's coincidental.
Who gives a fuck? I like this. You did that in Romeo and Juliet. I like Shakespeare because he wore weird clothes. Talking of weird clothes, I need a shit.
Alright, mate.
Stand by.
Alright.
Have you got any toilet rolls? I don't think you've had anything up there.
Oh, fucking loads. It's all outside the door, mate.
Alright, okay.
It's all outside the door.
It's a shithole up here, Dave.
I know it's a shithole up there. It's always a shithole there. It's been a pandemic.
Try tidying up a couple of times, you messy cunt.
Do you know what? Been really nice, just kind of, I say this to the camera now because Sean, you'll see this. Just hanging out with Ricky again. We're actually kind of Jackie's mates and equals now. I mean, I've known him longer than I've known Chris. He's my mate's son, but I think that's the problem, is I always saw him as my mate's son. And actually now, he's my mate. And I don't really think I'd appreciated that before. You know, he's coming up for 35. So I can't really be seeing him as my mate's kid anymore. I think that's my fault. I think that's something that I don't know. I'm stoned.
Did you get a text from Sean?
Yeah, I've just got one. He says he wants to have a Zoom call.
Okay.
He says it's urgent. Hang on, I'll follow the link. One sec. Ricky, if we're going to do this Zoom call, you better go upstairs because otherwise we're going to get feedback. I'll have my mic on and whatever, and you'll be on your phone, and if we're in the same room, it'll all feed back.
Frequencies will cross-contaminate, won't they?
They will. You can't cross the streams, Ricky. You cannot cross the streams. You know that.
Okay.
We all need to talk now.
We wouldn't have fucking clicked this link if we thought you'd be here. I thought this was Sean.
Ricky, just for once, shut up and listen. I'm not here to fuck around. This is serious.
Don't talk to me like that, mate.
Hang on, Ricky. Calm your gingerness. Let's hear him out.
Dave, for the 100th time, I'm not ginger. I'm Moroccan Christmas, all right?
Go on, Chris.
Right, it's about Kieran and the label. Kieran is the label. He's playing us.
What do you mean?
Right, Kieran's the one who bought Celebrate from George. He made it impossible for George to promote the Best Of album, caused loads of delays, and with George being sick and all, he's just caved in and sold it for pennies.
And when was this?
Just after the documentary came out.
And when did you find out?
Literally just now. I'm sat here with Sean, and I've just found out. That's why I asked Sean to set up this call, because I knew you wouldn't talk to me otherwise.
And how exactly do you know this is true?
Right. I was accidentally copied in on an email that was meant for Kieran's account. And I verified it with Gage. The shares were in Emily's name, probably to avoid conflict of interest. But it's real. It's there on company's house.
Does he know that you know?
I don't know. The email was only sent half an hour ago.
Well, how can he not know you know?
Who knows?
Do you think he knows that you know?
I don't know. I got the email, I read it, and now I'm talking to you two.
Do you think he knows that I know that you know that Dave knows that he might know that I know fuck all?
Oh, I missed you, Ricky.
Right, I need a minute to think.
We owe 200 grand.
Yeah, and Kieran's offered to pay that off.
Hang on. Give me a minute to think. Just shut up for a second. Just 1 second.
What are you thinking, Dave?
Nothing if you keep fucking talking, mate.
Well, you must have some ideas. You're science. Spit it out.
Look, he said he'd pay the debt back to the label for us in exchange for some shares because he believed in us, all right? But he's the label, or Emily is, that doesn't matter. He's the label. And he said that we owe the label 200 grand, and we believe that's true, but only because he went through the figures and told us it was true. But Kieran's the label.
So who the fuck do we owe 200 grand to?
That's the point, Ricky. We don't. At least I don't think we do.
Well, how's that going to work out?
Look, I think he's invented the debt. He says we owe the label, but that's him, 200 grand. And we believe him because he's our manager. But if he offers to pay the 200 grand for 33% of Space Potatoes, right, he's paying the money to himself. And he's getting a third of our business for free. But I bet he didn't pay anywhere near as much as 200 grand for the label. It wasn't worth that. So...
Yeah. Meanwhile, as long as we all hate each other, he can get one of us on his side or against the others, and he's got control.
Well, I was a fucking genius.
Genius? He sounds more like a cunt.
So what do we do now?
We? What's all this we shit? I keep hearing we. What does that mean? What's we?
Look. I need some time to think, and more than just a minute, right? But one thing's clear, Ricky, and I'm sorry to say this, mate, but there has to be a we if we're going to survive this.
So we just forgive and forget?
Well, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, Ricky. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I say the enemy of my enemy is my enemy as well as my enemy's enemy.
Am I your enemy?
No, we've only got one enemy now.
But that means you're now just over 66 grand in debt. Oh, I did too, but I got really excited about the debt.